I'm Latricia Booker with Kingdom Business, and I am here to help empower by helping to heal, help to be delivered, and be set free, to help you know who you are, elevate your mind and your spirit, and raise and expand your consciousness to ultimately help you to walk in your true divine purpose. And so today I want to talk about alignment. And alignment is really just coming into agreement with. In order to align with something, you have to be in agreement with whatever that is. So that means if you are wanting a certain career, if you have some kind of a dream business or a job that you're wanting, if you have a certain kind of person you want to attract into your life, excuse me. So you have to come in alignment with that. You have to come in agreement with that. You have to feel the very essence of that, what it is that you're wanting. You cannot think of it as being far-fetched. You can't think of it as not having. You have to be in agreement and in alignment with that it is that you're wanting. And so I want to take this in a different direction. Um, Recently, after having a conversation with a young lady who shared some things with me about a situation where she was trying to find a nice way to distance herself from someone who she just didn't feel okay continuing a relationship with. She ended up saying that this individual did something very not nice. And so that kind of ended the relationship. And she said that worked for her because she was trying to find a way to do it in a nice way. And so I said, well, that person had to show themselves to you. And they wanted to be the one to do it because they felt that she wanted to end the relationship. And so she said, well, we were not in alignment. And I said, well, ultimately that is what it was. Even though those were the actions that were taking and the thinking of the other individual that led to the alignment being disaligned. Well, they were already disaligned, but the actions that were taken to cause them their separation. So it kind of got me thinking. And I just began to think about relationships. And I began to thinking about different places that I had to remove myself from, including a job that I had to leave last year. And I would always say about this job, and then the last place that I lived before where I'm at now, I would explain it as those places literally spit me out. And so I'm saying all that to say that I realize that why it's time to move on, when relationships start to go sour, and you, like I said, you get that nudge that it's time for you to remove yourself from a certain place, whether it be a job, a place where you're living, again, a relationship, a business partner, whatever it may be. It's because you're not in alignment anymore. And obviously, at one point, you were in some kind of a way. Now, let me go on to share what I really looked at in a deeper way concerning my personal situations. I looked at different relationships where there were some separations, and I could see where the issues started happening that caused the separation did have a lot to do with us not being in agreement with certain things. And um one in one particular situation, it's like I was on a certain path and journey, and this is what I wanted, and the other person was on another path and journey, and they wanted something totally different. So even though at one point we were able to join and we were able to come together and live at, and have some form of a relationship at one time, we were no longer in that same place, and we were not in alignment with what we wanted and where we were going. And so what happened was things started happening in the relationship, that just caused a lot of friction and a lot of problems, which ultimately warranted a separation. And I realized that that's because we were out of alignment. Even though I knew that this things were happening that were causing a lot of dissension and unhappiness while it was happening. Once I let her talk to this young lady, I looked at it in a totally different light, because when you're not in alignment anymore, it's nothing else to do but walk away from. And even when you try to hold something together, when it's out of alignment, when you're not in alignment with it, it's just like oil and water. It's going to separate. And so I learned that the more you try to hang on and the more you try to keep something together, when it's just no alignment and no agreement there, it causes a lot of turmoil. So sometimes you're just spinning your wheels, and sometimes if you're trying to hang on to something and keep something that's clearly not working, that's out of alignment, that's not in agreement with you anymore, you become the cause of your own heartache, your own pain, your own turmoil, because the answer is to walk away. Now, I know that that's not the easiest thing to do. I know that that sounds easier said than done. However, I hope that that helps by knowing when these things are happening, it's because you're not in alignment anymore. So it's best to just move on so you can be where you're more in alignment with, whatever that means. That can be bad or good. Because if you're someone who's on a positive path, on a higher vibrations, wanting something on a higher level, I'll even go so far and say walking and following after God and allowing God to move you forward in things that He has for you, then you're not going to be in agreement with someone who does not want that. But you're not going to be in agreement with someone who's not on that path. So it's best, if that's what's happening in your current situation, to remove yourself from that situation so that you can find your way into one that works for you, one that's in alignment with you and what you want, one that's in agreement with you and what you're wanting. And what happens is that person, or if we want to say job, career, is in agreement with what it is you're wanting too. It wants you too. It wants the same things that you want. It's in the same place spiritually, I'll say, as you are, vibrationally, as you are. And so, to sum that all up, when things are not happening, when things are not working out anymore, it's because there is no alignment. When you align yourself with what it is you truly want, when you come in agreement with what it is you truly want, then you can attract what you really want. Now, I have to say this. You can't attract what you really want if you're continuing to hang on to what you don't want. It doesn't work. In fact, that thing that you don't want, while you're hanging on to it, is in the way of what you're really wanting. And that could even be certain behaviors. It don't even have to just be people, you know. It can be certain behaviors that you're having, certain thoughts that you're having. If you're ultimately wanting this, you have to come in alignment with it, and you have to let go of what it is that is in the way. So you can come in alignment with what it is that you're truly wanting, so that you can attract that to you, so that it can come to you, so that y'all can meet, so that you all guys can cross paths. Now, let me warn you, many a times the old thing will still try to hang around. Whether it be a person, a behavior, a habit, whatever it is, that's just how it is. It will still try to hang out, but you have to make up in your mind that you no longer want this thing and you want something else over here that's better, that's healthier, that's more conducive for your well-being. So you cannot entertain this thing, so that you can no longer feed something that no longer feeds you. Nothing but poison many a times. You don't want the poison no more. You want the good thing. You want the honey. You want the sweets. You want the water. You want that good thing. And so you're out of alignment with this thing, but you need to let it go and come into alignment with this good thing that you're wanting, that's much better for you, that you really desire. You have to release attachments and come in alignment with something better, with what it is that you really want and desire. And so, again, alignment is simply coming into agreement with. If you're aligned with a bad thing, you're in agreement with that bad thing. If you're aligned with something much better, you're in agreement with that much better. If you're aligned with something that's not good for you, but you're wanting something better, you have to come out of alignment. And I want to say you have to come out of alignment with that. But many times you begin to align with what you want. And that's why the disruption starts happening with that thing you don't want, because you have already decided that you don't want that. You want something better. So it starts getting kind of, you see. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that this video has helped someone. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, Latricia Booker. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at Latricia Booker. And so with that, I'm going to go because that's my time and I'm out. Peace.